Hey guys, welcome back to the Witchcraft Cycle Workshop. If you've been following along with our series here, we've been doing a chop on one of Ray Ray's bikes, and I have to say, I screwed up. It's enough to drive you to drinking. Cut, re-weld, well, you've seen the series. If you've watched the videos, I've done a lot of work to this thing. And if you ever watch a build or anything like that, they always say, do the mock-up, and it just seems like a lot of work, you know, put it all together just to take it all back apart. I didn't do a proper mock-up, and now I'm putting it together, and here we are, and I screwed up. But anyway, so our last video, I showed you where we were so far on this thing, and one of our viewers made a good question. How's the trail work out now? Well, when you start cutting and raking, you change the geometry, and let's find out where we're at. But anyway, we started out with a stock frame, 30-degree neck. We cut it, re-welded, and put 40 on the neck, 5-degree trees. So we have 45 degrees overall. And to get the bike to sit more level, we had to go with 4-inch over-length fork tubes. And one of our viewers questioned, so how's the trail work out with this design? So let's see how we're doing here. So we have our center line from the axle down. This is where the tire would contact the pavement. Our trail measurement would be, we'll take our rod again like we did last time and go through the center of the bearings. Line that up with the center of the bearings. Our pivot point would now be about here. And of course, that's with our raked trees. And again, the reason for using the raked trees on a chopper is because if we didn't have the raked trees, we would be out here somewhere in this measurement for our pivot point. And as you can see, that makes a lot of trail. Putting the raked trees brings our trail measurement back to here for better handling. And now we have a 5-inch trail measurement, which is ironic because if you go back to our original video that we done on this bike, the way it was set up, our stock trail measurement was 5 inches. So even though we cut, re-welded the neck out to a longer angle, made a chopper, stretched it out with the 5-degree rake trees, we still managed to keep our 5-inch trail measurement. Okay, so what's the problem? It all ought to work out nice. Bike sits nice and level. We got our 45-degree angle, beautiful looking chopper coming together, and we have a decent trail measurement. What's the problem? Well, here's where I screwed up. When you redo this, it not only affects where the front tire lands, it affects everything up here as well. And I had these 5-degree triple trees sitting on the shelf. I pulled them out and we put our 8-inch risers back on here with our drag bars, and looky here. We start making a turn, guess what happens? We have an interference issue. If you watched along on the videos when I cut the neck off, I actually pushed the whole neck out 1/4 of an inch further out to make room for this. but I didn't push it out far enough. And if you notice with this set of triple trees that I have, this nice little swoop in here that she likes, it also mounts the risers almost in line with the neck bearings. If I were using short, maybe 1-inch risers with some upsweep bars, it might not be a problem. But with these straight risers being that close to the pivot point, now I'm hitting the dash. I really don't want to have to cut this all the way back apart and redo it. I think at this point what we're going to do, I'm going to see about getting a different set of triple trees, still 5-6 degree angle, but get a different set that would mount the risers up here further where you normally see them. And hopefully that'll give us enough clearance to clear the dash. If that don't work, I don't know what we're going to do. She really likes her risers with her drag bars. We don't want to put any different style on here, but yeah, this is why it's important to do a full mock-up on all the parts you're going to be using, because when you start modifying things, everything changes, and that's why you do a mock-up, is to make sure everything fits and functions properly beforehand, so you don't end up at this point where I am now and oops, we're trying to do a final assembly and we have a problem. Never a dull moment. It's always an adventure, but we'll keep you informed. I'm going to have to order a different set of triple trees and we'll put them on here and see what happens, and we'll let you know how it goes, but stay tuned.